Ansar Foundation.
It's time to gather around the Dawood Ramadan table. Every Monday and Wednesday at 2:30, join Rabia Carvalho as she welcomes Chef Hamza and Zakia Manju for budget-friendly tips, lavish feast, and everything in between. And our special social network version on Fridays at 3:30 with Ruhana Ibrahim, who'll bring us fresh, innovative ideas with Dawood frozen foods. This Ramadan, let's make every meal bring us closer together. So don't miss the Dawood Ramadan table, only on Radio Al Ansar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear listener, and welcome, a heartfelt welcome to yet another episode of Dawoods Ramadan Table. And this is brought to you by that halal food lovers paradise. You know, it is Dawoods Mega Store. Now, on our Monday shows, typically, you would be looking forward to listening to our dear Chef Hamza. Now, unfortunately, Chef Hamza was not available today. He is traveling. And so we thought, you know what would be amazing? Let's find out what Eid is like in Jordan. How's that for a twist? How is that for a twist? So all the way from Jordan, our guest will be joining us today. So we are going to be joined by Tharawat Al-Azab, who is a hijama practitioner and instructor. And she is based at the moment in Jordan, and she's going to be crossing over live with us direct from Jordan. We're going to find out how Arabs do Eid. Subhanallah. I'm so looking forward to this. Tharawat is not a stranger to the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar, and I hope you will join us. You know our WhatsApp number, and you know that later on, towards the end of the show, we are going to be having a competition. Yes, you stand the chance to win a 200 Rand gift voucher from where? Dawoods Megastore. Yes, I was at Dawoods this weekend, and I have to say, always super impressed by the freshness of their products and by the variety of their products. And you all know I absolutely love their meats. I love their chicken. I am a patron, not just a presenter of the show, but most certainly a patron of Dawoods Megastore. So let's cross over, shall we, to Jordan, where our guest for today, Tharawat Al-Azab, is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, sister?
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, I am well. How are you, Rabia? Good to see you.
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. How is Ramadan treating you, my sister?
Alhamdulillah. So far, so good. Alhamdulillah. It's been thank you, Mom. Such a good month for us. Alhamdulillah. Physically and spiritually. Alhamdulillah.
Now, you're in Jordan at the moment to celebrate Eid, inshallah, with your family and spend some time during Ramadan.
No, that is correct. I wanted to spend Eid, me and the kids, with my family, because they're always gathered during Eid, and it's even a bigger occasion because the passing of my auntie few weeks ago. So I said it's perfect timing to be with them at this moment. Yes.
Well, may Allah grant her the highest stages of Jannah, inshallah. Now, our guest, Tharawat, is not just Jordanian and based in Jordan. She actually lives in South Africa and has been in South Africa for quite some time. So she is able to kind of compare, in a way, what Eid has been like for her growing up and what Eid is like for her here in South Africa. So let's talk about some of the key differences. There's a real, like a
difference. I say, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, the food, number one, there's difference in food. There's difference in, I don't know, it's visit family members, the uncles, the aunties, and then you go home, and then the same uncles and aunties and neighbors and friends, they visit you back because everybody wants the ajr for visiting. So it's funny because we just were at their house. No, they're coming here now. So it's nice. It's, subhanAllah, it's a tradition that grows up with you and you miss it when you're not here for it.
Subhanallah. And then, of course, you're in a country that is Muslim. So I'm sure there's a lot more, almost like, I don't want to say fanfare because that's a bad choice of words, but there's a lot more presence, shall we say, I would imagine, of Ramadan and Eid.
Definitely.
Now, let's talk about food. Our sponsor for this show is, of course, Dawoods Mega Store, and they have not just the chicken and the lamb and the beefs, and they've also got fresh produce. And you've kind of become aware of Eid here in South Africa, where typically people will have biryani or maybe even a lamb dish. And then, of course, there is the typical sweetmeats, because it is very much a South African, culturally, South African Indian meal. Very different in Jordan, isn't it? How do you start your day on Eid?
So, say after Eid Salah, everybody goes home, breakfast is ready, and breakfast consists of bread, hummus, falafel. Typical Arabic household, okay? And it's not just a dish of hummus. The hummus comes in different shapes and forms. So you have a hummus with chickpeas in it. You have hummus feta, which comes with almonds, fried almonds, olive oil, and pieces of soft bread. Bread is big in the Middle East. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Olives, Palestinian olives for sure, and Lebanese. يعني small little dishes all around with cut vegetables, cucumber, tomatoes, even onions as side dishes, and everybody just takes a piece of bread and dips into every plate. I can't hear you. Okay.
All right, can we hear you now? Apologies for our technical issue there. Our technician here, our sound technician, Ted, is on the job and fixing everything for us. So, in other words, your breakfast is very, very fresh.
Very, very fresh, yes.
And
Mostly everything is homemade.
Communal. Pardon, please go ahead.
Most things homemade, like the bread, like the hummus, like the Lebanese. Then you have things that the vegetables that you buy fresh and you cut, eating raw like that, which is delicious.
That's fantastic. So very, very different to the breakfasts I would imagine here in South Africa, in any home, no matter what your culture. Now take us through Eid, because during Eid, it's also very, very different.
No, it is different. Loved the biryani throughout the years. It was such a treat, to get to know biryani, to get to be in close proximity, because that thing is delicious. And that's the thing that I would say, yes, no. Arabs cannot compare. Sorry. Biryani tops, okay? Then you have the traditional Arabic meal, or let's say Jordanian more specifically. I forgot to add the chicken liver in the breakfast. It's something everybody loves. It's fried in olive oil with pieces of onions, salt and pepper, done. Fry it, and it's so incredibly healthy. For lunch, the family gathers on the simplest of meals. At the same time, it goes back hundreds of years. Very simple. There's nothing, let's say, luxurious about it. Homemade and light. Some may consider it used to be light when it was made with olive oils. Now it changed to homegrown ghee. Yeah, they add the ghee. Yes. Which is delicious. The specific yellowish ghee that adds a lekker taste to the food.
A lekker taste of the food. Did you hear that, dear listeners? Sarwat has definitely caught on to our South African lingo over here. Nothing really beats, I mean, I came into Islam in South Africa, and so from the first Ramadan, it's been the soji, followed by the biryani with the those wonderful crispy. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The name has just escaped me now. And then you've got your biryani, of course, and you've got your sweets.
Papri.
Your papri. Yes, yes, your papri. So, folks, in Jordan, things are done a little bit differently. And you mentioned your chicken liver. So breakfast chicken liver, hummus, fresh baked breads, lots of different kinds of vegetables. That is super, super healthy. And then lunchtime comes along and there is no biryani. So what do we do then?
What we do is literally anything you want. But if you are the household that's inviting the family members, then you have to go with the big guns and make a dish called mjallale or mujallale. Mjallale, yes. So cute from you. Yes,
Mjelele. Okay, so what is mjelele? And how do we make it?
Right. So mjallale consists of, and I had the help of my father because it's one of my father's favorite dishes, so he knows it by heart. So you need onions for it. You need homemade ghee, bread, but specifically brown wheat bread. Tamam? Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, and a little bit of flour. First thing you do is the bread itself. You need to turn it into a dough by adding water to it and a sprinkle of salt. Yes, make it into a dough and then spreading it on a dish, taking that dish and popping it into the oven.
So you're making like a base?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, you'll see now, not exactly the base, but you need to make it the dough and then you crisp it up, right? In the meantime, you cut the tomatoes or squeeze them, and then you add them to a pot. You add to them the ghee and 2 green chilies. You need a bit of chiliness, which is something, something I took with me from South Africa to my parents' home, and they are loving it. Alhamdulillah, because I can't put salt and pepper anymore. No. We need chili. So you add 2 green chilies to the tomatoes, salt and pepper, and you let it to simmer and boil. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. At the same time, you are frying the onions, mainly turning them into, as they say in South Africa, a bagar, and then you leave it to the side. You pop out the bread from the oven. You cut into small pieces in a dish. You take the boiled tomatoes and you sprinkle on top of the bread. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And the last step, you take the bagar and you decorate the dish with it.
And that's lunch.
That is lunch, believe it or not. I know it sounds odd, but it's delicious. It's delicious.
Well, you know, it's always wonderful to hear what other people do for Eid. We are so accustomed to our realities over here. Folks, if you have any questions for Tharwat, you're very, very welcome to WhatsApp us. This is, of course, Dawoods Ramadan table, and all of the ingredients mentioned here you can find at Dawoods, except, of course, the bread baked in Jordan, because you won't be able to do that unless you bake it yourself. So you're going to make that crispy kind of bread, turn it into dough, put it into the oven, and then you're making your vagar, you're making your tomato, you're putting it over. And that is after your breakfast, which is quite a big breakfast, of your hummus and your chicken bits and all of it.
Yes,
okay. And
later in the day, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Okay. And then in terms of sweets, because sweets are necessary always on Eid, what do you prefer in Jordan? What is the more traditional thing?
we all, me and my siblings, all of us, we ask my mom for a dish called rice pudding. The way she makes it is delicious. Milk, rice, rose water, اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد, raisins, and boiled on the stove with a small cuts of cinnamon, small pieces of cinnamon boiled, and then you put them in separate little bowls and you leave it to harden, and then you eat it very nicely. You eat it cold or hot.
Amazing. You're talking about rice pudding. I'm sure I just heard maybe Aisha was also talking about in the show prior to this. She was also talking about the rice pudding that she makes. So subhanallah, I think there's a message for everybody. Time to try some rice pudding, and yes, you can get your rice at Dawoods store as well as the ingredients for these recipes. So having done that, you've done your sweets. That's it for the day. In terms of drinks, what happens there?
So Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, there's a traditional drink here called kerkade. So it's red leaves that you soak in water overnight. You soak in water overnight, and then the next day you take the leaves and you boil them in water. The leaves make the water the maroon red, so beautiful. And you add sugar as much as you'd like for flavor. Some like it hot, some like it with ice. And it's delicious and healthy.
Wow, so very that's just red leaf. I would love to know what that red leaf is. So do send us the name, inshallah. Because I'm going to go and look into it.
What it is.
I'm going to look into it, inshallah. So, folks, that's it from Jordan. How different is that to the way that we do Eid here? Hey, we've got Ted here in studio. Ted, that's very different to the Eid's recipes that we are accustomed to here in South Africa, with all of the spices and, yes, of course, the chilies that are so typical of the culture that becomes a part of us, isn't it, when we live here?
Yes,
Jazakallah so much for being with us on the show today, and for teaching us a little bit about what Eid is like in Jordan. Subhanallah. Jazakallah. So we will speak to you after the show. Jazakallah for being with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, folks, that was it. That was Thruat Al-Azab from Jordan. Can you believe it? Very, very different. Now, of course, we're going to have our competition, which is the giveaway of the 200 Rand gift voucher, for which you would need to call in. And the number that we have here for calling in, let's make double sure, is 0861 904 904. Easy as that. 0861 904 904. You can call us and you can then stand a chance to win the 200 Rand Dawoods Megastore gift voucher, where you can go and buy all of your accoutrements, all of your things necessary for Eid. So we do have a call coming in over here. Let us see. I think the name here, let's see. Assalamu alaikum. Let's try again. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, assalamu alaikum. Oh, we seem to be having network issues today. We're going to have to try to take the next call that's coming in. You can remember for the gift voucher, it's 0861 904 904. Give us a call and let's get you on the show so that you can win that gift voucher. of 200 Rand from Dawoods Megastore. I was in Dawoods Megastore just this last weekend, as I say, and I personally am very, very partial to their lamb. Absolutely love their lamb, as well as, of course, their chicken. I've spoken about the crumbed chicken before. And isn't it wonderful that you can go into Dawoods Megastore if you're rushing around and it's getting really, really late, or maybe you are working late, and you can actually pick yourself up a meal there. And there you go. Dawoods Megastore. You've got it fresh, you've got it fast, and you've got ready-made food all at your service. Now, we do have another caller that is coming. Oops, that line has dropped as well. Remember, folks, 0861904904. Unfortunately, we are having network issues. So shall we do this as a WhatsApp message at the moment? I think we're going to have to do this as a WhatsApp message. Unfortunately, the networks are not cooperating with us. So that is not on our side, unfortunately. It is our networks that we've got here. Let's try that again. We do have a caller on the line. Let's see if we can speak to you. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, assalamu alaikum. I hear a noise. I hear a sound.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Assalamu alaikum, sister. How are you?
Good, and you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. How is Ramadan treating you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. So, can we get your name?
It's Nabiha.
Sorry, we can't make you.
Nabiha.
Nadiha. Okay, super to hear from you. So let's get to the question. So the first question today is name one of the ingredients described in the recipe from Jordan for any one of the ingredients, whether it is for their breakfast or for their lunch. Anything that is eaten in Jordan that is very different to the way that we have things here.
Bread and red beetle leaf.
There we go, bread and red beetle leaf. Maybe that's what it is. Subhanallah, you've solved the mystery. I know Thurwood had mentioned red leaves, but didn't mention exactly what leaf it is. So there we go. So you are our winner for today of the 200 Rand gift voucher for Dawoods Megastore. So do remember to send us your information. You can stay on the line and our sound engineer will give you kind of a heads up of the information that we need from you so that you can collect your voucher, inshallah. I want to wish you, inshallah, a beautiful rest of your Ramadan filled with peace. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say yes and ameen to your du'as and wish you a beautiful Eid, inshallah, that is coming up. And may we see the next Ramadan, sister. So that was our winner for today on Dawoods Megastore. It's always interesting for me to see how different Ramadan is around the world and how, in as much as we may belong to a particular culture, we are influenced by the kind of the people around us. So for instance, myself being Portuguese, there are certain things that are eaten in my tradition at times of celebration, the same as in Jordan, there are certain things that are eaten at times of celebration, and those things kind of, if you then become a Muslim, get imported. And if you are a Muslim, you tend to kind of continue with those foods. And yet, if you've been in South Africa, you cannot discount those beautiful, beautiful chilies. Those chilies that grow so beautifully here in our weather, and of course that you can get at Dawoods Megastore. When I was at Dawoods Megastore this weekend, not only did I pick up some lamb, which I always love, as I say, the lamb, I did of course pick up biltong, I always do. But have you noticed that in their fresh food section, in their, shall I say, fresh produce section rather, they have that fresh produce section, but then they have these fridges. And I have found that in those fridges, there are more and more lovely goodies coming in there. And I did notice some custard and jelly that is ready made over there in the fridge. And I have noticed also that they have a lot of fresh produce that is not only just your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your avocados, but it seems to be just increasing, so that every time I go into Dawoods Megastore, there is more and more freshness, flavor, and quality for our foodies and our food lovers. So that has been Dawoods Ramadan table for today. and we will see you again next week. In fact, we will see you on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we will be chatting to Chef Zakia Manju, and we are going to then be talking about Eid here. So Eid in South Africa, the traditional stuff that we are accustomed to, but with a little twist to make it extra special. So do join us on Wednesday, inshallah, at 2:30 for another edition of Dawoods Ramadan Table. Until then, from myself, our sound engineer team, our producer Muhammad Ayaz Kareem, and the entire team at Radio Al Ansar, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Here's my every prayer. The patience it teaches transcends beyond reach. The blessings that fills the air. All of my pain and all my hurt cannot disappear with every verse. A time that I need, not just made for me, but for all of us. Ya Ramadan, Ramadan, month of forgiveness, knock on my door. Ya Ramadan, Ramadan, miracles and gifts straight from the Lord. Oh, how I know Jannah awaits, and in this month you've opened the gates. Ya Ramadan, Ramadan, pray that I earn every reward. Allahumma taqabbal minna siyamana ونسأل منك الهدى والتقى والغنى يا رمضان رمضان month of forgiveness knock on my door يا رمضان رمضان miracles and gifts straight from the Lord. Oh, how I know Jannah awaits, and in this month you've opened the gates. Ya Ramadan, Ramadan, pray that I earn every reward.
Save the date. The Hajj seminar is back on Saturday, the 12th of April 2025 from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at 207 West Road in Overport. Proudly brought to you by the Capital Group of Companies and the Al Ansar Foundation.